This is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, I really do enjoy doing the cultural, historical aspects of African American culture and history, and I am going to give you more content on African American culture and history, and I do appreciate the positive feedback that you have given me on those videos. Thank you very much. So culture and history are really my main goal, but Black American men continue to be a fascinating subject in the United States, maybe even the world. They're just out here doing the most, and it's just hard to look away. It really is. And T.J. Holmes has been holding the public's fascination now for about the last 3 or 4 months, because it's really kind of interesting to see how his story is unfolding. Because really with T.J. Holmes right now, what we're seeing is the steady and methodical takedown of a Black American man. Now that is what we're really seeing. And then we are seeing the rehabilitation of a white American woman. And the reason we're seeing the takedown of him and the rehabilitation of her is because of who they are. She is a white American woman. What we always say is that white women are protected. And that's what it means when they are protected. Now, how is she being protected? Right now, she and T.J. Holmes are at a crossroad with their employer, ABC. They have been involved in an affair, allegedly, and that is really against company policy. Even though they don't have it written down, they shouldn't have to write it down. People should understand proper decorum, especially married people. But they crossed some line, and I'm not sure what the line is, but they crossed a line. There are legal contracts involved. So the employer, ABC, has to be careful about how they proceed. People who speak on public issues continue to say that TJ and Amy Robach have been fired. But ABC says they haven't been because the investigation is ongoing. Now what we're coming to understand now is the only person that's being investigated is TJ Holmes. And that's the takedown. Now with Amy, they are in the process of portraying her as, if not a victim, as an innocent player. She did not know all of the things and all of the women that he was involved with. She was blindsided. That's what they're playing. That's how they're playing it with her now. She was blindsided. So she got caught up with this guy. He was a friend, and he put the moves on her. And she was just, enamored for the moment. She was blindsided by the magnitude of the past office affairs. And she feels like collateral damage because she thought he was sincere. But she was blindsided because she thought she was the only one. And now look at all these women. So now she's innocent. So Amy is going to have a chance to get rehabilitated. And that is about the protection of a white woman. That's what they mean when they say the white woman is protected. They are going to protect her from this man that they're now calling a predator. And now they're coming up with different women. We had already uncovered one woman, and then there was a possible 2 women. And then they came up with the prize, Jasmine Petaway, a Black woman. And not only did they bring her into the mix, they brought her into the mix in a very disrespectful and a very salacious kind of way. With the white women, it was like, oh, he had an affair. He's having an affair. He spent the weekend. But they weren't explicit with that. But when they brought the Black woman in, he had an affair with her in his office. And they even used the S word in his office. And she came out of the office looking all razzled. And that woman, that young woman, Jasmine Petaway, has not said anything. She did not reveal that. A staffer at the station at ABC said they observed her coming out of the office. Now they didn't see anything, but now they've already put the S word on her because she's black. So we're going to use the black woman to make it explicit so you'll know what kind of creep this guy is. But they never used the S word when they were talking about the white women. Now they said there's another woman. They haven't revealed her identity, and that lets you know she's white. She was a subordinate too, younger than he was, which is making it seem like he was in a senior position and taking advantage of a subordinate. And that's how corporate America plays it. And it doesn't matter how black people, especially these black men on YouTube running their mouth, it doesn't matter how you see it. This is how they've got it set up. It's very problematic how they threw the black woman in and exposed her in that way. They never exposed the white women like that because white women are protected. And I really think she ought to file a lawsuit against them because she has not come out and said anything. Even as you hear these manosphere type talking about she knew better, she was this, all of them knew better. Amy Robach knew better. Every white woman he was involved with knew better. And they were older than this young black woman at 24. And they're even planning stories in these tabloids about his wife and what she said and what she thinks and how she feels. And she's so happy that he got fired. That woman has not said anything. She has not given any interview. All she has done is post on her social media platforms, and they have scoured her platforms looking for something that they can put in the tabloid, trying to paint a negative picture of how she feels about him. However she feels about him is how she feels about him. That's her husband that's divorcing her, and she's probably upset and hurt, but she is not out here talking about him. That's what they're doing. They have to use the black woman, always trying to use a black woman to bring a black man down. These black women haven't said anything. It's other people that are putting words in their mouth. But this is what America does. They're going to always find a black woman when they're trying to take a black man down. It could be 100 white women involved, just like it was in the Bill Cosby case. But they're going to go and dig up 1 or 2 black women so they can pin it on black women and say black women brought him down. And that's what they're trying to do here. He's been involved with more white women at that station than he was with black women. But they're going to try to use the black woman, Jasmine Pettaway, and his wife to make him look like the creep that he really is. But he's been a creep with those white women. That's where the problem is, because the wife was trying to work things out with him. And if Miss Amy Robach had stayed out of the picture, they might have been able to work it out. But I just really resent the way they brought this young black woman in at the last minute, because they're trying to show that he is this predator and he's sleeping with all these women. Now, I believe he's sleeping with some of them. I don't believe he's sleeping with everybody at ABC. They're not going to make me believe that. But that's the takedown. That's what a takedown looks like, especially when you're dealing with a black man. And the only people who need to learn this is black men. Your problem is not black women, and your problem is really not white women. Your problem is yourself and the white men who have established the society that you live in. That is your problem. Now, they can blame black women or white women on their problems if they want to. But when they get caught up in something like this, corporate America doesn't care what black men think. And they don't care how black men feel about anything. What they care about is what they have established as appropriate behavior in the workplace. And a white man can get away with it up to a point. But we know white men are gone and leave. But black men will try to hold on because, they need the money. He needs the money. Now, T.J. Holmes probably can't afford to lose that job. He has been married before, and he has 2 teenage children, or teenage, and maybe one of them may be out of college. But he's got to support those children, and then he has a 10-year-old that he has to support, and he's got to support himself. And it's doubtful that he's going to get a job in TV at this point. This is just getting started on him. But I'm wondering now, are you feeling sorry for him yet? T.J. Holmes comes from a very middle-class black family. I I've heard from a couple of sources people saying that he was biracial. T.J. Holmes is not biracial. T.J. Holmes has two attractive black parents. Here are his parents. And you can see from their profile that these are black people. They're attractive black people. And he said they met at the University of Arkansas. So his parents are professionals. And so that leads me to believe that T.J. Holmes is probably a spoiled brat. And he has been able to get his way because he's charming. He's charming and women like him. And he has probably gotten beyond like black men would do. They get a little success, they get a little money, and white women start looking at them and they start thinking they're invincible until they cross that line. And he has crossed that line. Dr. Umar Johnson, who I don't consider the most credible person in the world, but Dr. Umar Johnson says that he committed the cardinal sin. He had an affair with a desirable white woman that white men wanted. And we know that white men wanted her because she's been married to two. And the fact that they're trying to play her now as some innocent is just amazing. That woman is not innocent. She was not blindsided. She knew he was a sleaze bag. And I say they deserve each other. But the difference is that she is protected and he is not. He is not protected. And I don't know if he deserves anybody's sympathy. But he does need to repent, as we say at church. There needs to be some repenting because he forgot the rules. He forgot where he was. He forgot how America operates. It's just another black man who's in denial about the society that he lives in. He is employed by a white corporation, most likely run by white men. They gave him a chance, and they get really upset when they give a black person a chance, and then they come out and do something like this. And this is why I say that white men are more comfortable hiring a black woman in a responsible position than they are a black man. Because black women are not going to go up in a situation like that and ruin it. There ain't going to be nobody at that office or at that network that's going to be so fascinating and black women are going to be so mesmerized by that she's going to mess up her money. That's just not how black women operate. And so that's how come they have the president of ABC is a black woman. They're comfortable with black women and people in the LGBT community because they're not going to come and mess up their money. This was very reckless on the part of T.J. Holmes and Amy Robach. But Amy Robach is going to recover. They're trying to rebuild her reputation now. And whether or not they're successful is going to depend on how much she needs her job. Because if she needs that job, she's going to cooperate with them. And what she's going to do is play the victim. She didn't know he was involved. And she's going to feel sorry for the black woman. And that's going to do something, that makes white people feel better when they feel sorry for black people, especially a black woman. And so she's going to play that card. I would imagine she would play that card. I would if it was me. Because she will be able to get a job somewhere. She may not get a job at ABC, but she'll get one at NBC or somewhere else. Because they look out for each other. They look out for each other. Especially if she walks away from that and say, this was the biggest mistake I ever made. Because at the end of the day, she has more money than he does. And he's out of a job, most likely. And most likely will not be getting another job on the level of what he had. And that means that if she tries to stay in that relationship with him, she's going to end up having to take care of him. Or she's going to have to put more into it than she probably would want to. It looks like she'll probably be cooperating with them. Yeah, he was a predator. This is what the headline says. He was a predator. I was blindsided. I didn't know he was messing with Jasmine. She was only 24 years old. I just can't imagine that he would be dealing with a subordinate like that, taking advantage of that poor, beautiful black girl. Oh my goodness, I was so wrong. And so she will be rehabilitated, and he will not be. And the question is, will people feel sorry for him? Specifically, will black people feel sorry for him? I would like to know. Let's watch it. Let's continue to watch it. I can't look away from this. I can't stop talking about it because I just am stunned that black men continue to walk into this trap. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a trap. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.